Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Just figuring out this technologies and stuff, but it's good.
We are just a dog and pony show. I swear to God.
But we
Held
have the most fun
together
though.
by spit and bubblegum.
But we have the most fun though, so that's all that really
We do.
matters.
We do. We're learning new skills. Um, so thanks for joining in, everyone. On your way in, please hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And welcome, welcome, welcome. We will be discussing Southern Charm, Season 7, Episode 10, Treehouse of Cards, Part 2. And this is the season finale of this series.
Finally. Yay! Let's get into it.
This is the longest 10 episodes ever. But okay.
hmm
So we're back at the pool party, and we see Whitney comes over for a little bit. And we see Craig and Shep discussing the Catherine issue. So this is continuing on from last week.
hmm
Um, then we see Madison 1. She's still trying to get Austin's attention or
hmm
something.
It's weird.
I hate them. I hate them now. I'm sorry.
We can even stop right here and discuss this. I don't get them. Like, she don't want to be with him. He's trying to get over her, but he don't like her, and she don't really want to be with him, but she wants his attention. I'm like, y'all just really doing stuff for the camera, and I need you to get off my screen. That's just how I feel.
Remember when Craig, I don't know who he was talking to, but he said something along the lines like, you're making it uncomfortable for the rest of the group. It's now seeping through the screen to me. I feel aggravated and uncomfortable whenever I see your antics, both of you.
Yeah,
Stop
it's like get on my screen.
it. Yeah. Well, and it continues throughout this episode, which is really annoying. But then we see Madison 1. She gets a text about Austin sleeping with someone else at one of her friends' homes. Why are they sending her this text?
Exactly. That was my whole point. I'm like, who does that?
Everybody knows that they broke up,
Broken
right?
up. But I want to know,
So why would she care?
right, that, and I want to know who sent that text. That's the biggest, that's the biggest thing. Like, why would this person send you this text? Because if that person sent you that text, they had no good intentions.
Or she's told all her friends to get back to her if they hear
Okay,
about him doing stuff, because that
okay,
sounds like Madison 1.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go. I'll go with
Because
that one.
remember, she said she did not want him to get a girlfriend.
Route.
So she's gonna want to be kept on the down low, like what's going on with him.
What's he
She's
really
petty
doing?
like that. Yeah,
I can go with that.
I don't like her. Oh my god. So then we see Shep and Austin, um, and they're talking about this Madison 1 thing again, and Shep is just like, just move on.
hmm
And then Craig comes up because Craig was with Madison when she got the text and she started freaking out with him. So he runs over to the treehouse, or go treehouse of cards, runs over to the treehouse to give Austin the heads up. Storm coming in.
Right.
Craig is such a bone carrier. I love it.
But as a friend, look, dude. I gotta give you a heads up. She knows, just so you're aware.
Mm, yeah,
because
can't
because
blame him.
he was there when she got the text, so it's a fair game. Kind of like, let me go tell my
Mhm.
boy, like, look, she know, just so you know, be prepared.
Oh my god. So I think we see her find her way up to the treehouse and starts in on Austin. And at this point I stopped listening. Like all I heard was wah 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 in
So did
my
I.
ears. Yeah, it's just the same argument we've been having over the past few seasons.
Agreed. You can't. You're
Yeah.
mad because he's with somebody else when you didn't want him. Okay.
Yeah. So that's over with. And then we see Whitney playing the guitar. And I wish he would do this more often because he's a really good musician.
Hmm.
It was a lovely interlude
Exactly.
between the mess.
You right, like a small palate cleanser before we go back to the
Yes,
mess.
a little amuse bouche.
Right.
Oh my gosh. So after the guitar playing, we see Pringle chatting with his sister Jenny. And she's asking him how he felt about having the kids with him this summer. And he gets really emotional and starts to cry a little. Well, not cry, like tear up a little bit.
I mean, he loves his boys, and you can tell. And I think there's more issues there. For some reason, I still think he's in love with his ex-wife, and
Hmm.
I really think he wants his family back. To be completely honest, and I don't blame him.
Well, no, I don't blame him because his ex-wife Heidi is her name, right?
Hmm.
She seems like a really lovely lady, but it makes me wonder what caused the breakup. And why did you move all the way across the country?
Right. I mean, I understand that your family's here, and like based on the what I saw on the website, he basically came back to help join his family's commodities business. And I also think it was a convenient escape from his ex-wife because it doesn't seem like he can bear to see her too much right now. You know what I mean? Freshly divorced, and I think he still
Mhm.
loves her. Like, I can't imagine him being him and seeing her every day and wanting to be with her. I think that's really why he moved. He wanted to put distance between them.
But in doing that, he's putting distance between he and his kid.
Right.
And
I really think this is temporary.
I hope so because I think he said at one point that his job he can do anywhere as long as he has a laptop. So
Hmm.
he could go back West Coast. Like he doesn't have to be
Hmm.
in San Diego or whatever city
Mm-mm.
they're in, but just a bit closer so that
Right.
he doesn't have this tug of war in his heart, letting his kids go and. But he also says something else. He said something about hoping to get them for longer periods. Like,
Hmm.
is there a restriction in their custody agreement or something?
Well, based on the my limited knowledge of family, typically they prefer the kids to stay with the mother in California.
Mm, mm,
They
okay.
tend to side with the mother, and I think also, but playing into him being a reality TV show, I think they want the kids being in it too much, exposed too soon, all that good stuff.
Mhm.
And then I think what happens, this is a theory of mine, my opinion. So I bet that look, Shep, they probably Thomas got fired. They probably said like, "Hey, do you guys know anyone we could use?" I'm sure Shep and Pringle talk. Shep like,
Mhm.
you know what? Since you're going through this divorce, why don't you come back out here, do this show with me for a little bit, get your bearings, grieve a little bit for your divorce, like get back into Charleston social life, hang out with me, make this money, get a little exposure, win
I can
win.
see that. Okay. That's a good theory. I can see that. I can see that. The old college boy connection.
Yep.
Mm,
He's
mm, mm,
connected.
mm.
Pringle's not some random dude. He's been a longtime friend of Shep's. He's from the area. Patricia knows his family. You're
He
in.
got
Done.
good lineage.
Exactly.
Mm, mhm. Um, Whitney is so shady. Whitney goes to the bar and asks if they have any beer. And they give the list of beers, and he asks, "Is that Austin's beer?" And she's like, "Yeah, you want one?" Nope.
That's Whitney. Whitney, the
Oh my
producer.
god. Love it. Love it. So supportive of your cast. Um okay, so then we see a flash of Catherine getting ready to come to the I guess she's not only showing up for the dinner. I
Correct.
guess.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I guessed.
Yeah. And she is saying, that she's just disappointed in her friends for not sticking up for her. Okay.
Yeah, you can stay disappointed too.
So then Whitney announces that he's not staying for dinner. He's getting out of there. I don't think he wants a takeaway bag. I think he just wants to disinfect and go home.
Exactly.
He's done his contractual obligation. He's done.
Man, he's like, I'm good. Because I showed up.
Oh my God. So I think this is where someone on the patio on the veranda says, "Oh my God, there's a shark and it's eating a dolphin," and it turned out to be two dolphins having sex.
That was funny.
No, that was filler. We didn't need to see that. The only funny part was Craig's comeback about the fishing pole breaking with Shep. That was the only thing that gave me a chuckle.
Them two are hilarious, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And honestly, they're the only ones that make me keep watching every season. So,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. All right, so Catherine finally arrives and she walks in on a conversation at a highboy table between Leva and Shep about this whole situation that's been brewing the entire season. Um, and I guess they cover it up pretty easily, but the mood of the event changes once
Of
she
course it does.
arrives.
Oh yeah.
um, Everyone sits down to dinner, and Pringle gives a toast. Um, but I guess Pringles didn't really change. Like everybody else had went in and changed or took off their wet bathing suit or something like that. But Pringle still looks like a drowned rat. And so Austin offers to give him a clean button down shirt and he comes back out and sits down to eat. Um, Damn.
He just
Leva
cracked me up.
tries to no. Well, Madison first starts talking to Catherine regarding the Caleb thing because
Mm-hmm.
she saw something on All About the Tea talking about Catherine dating Caleb. Go, Monica.
Right?
Um,
Shout out to all about the tea.
and, Catherine's there, that's why I'm not saying anything about it, you know. And Madison's like, but you've known him forever. Why all of a sudden now? Shade. And Catherine's like, I don't know. Like she didn't even rehearse a comeback for this obvious question.
Exactly.
And so Madison's like, I think you just need to like defend yourself and tell everybody like, you're what's going on. And I'm like, Madison,
Mm-hmm.
shut up. She don't need to defend herself.
No.
She needs to own up to what she did, yes, and then apologize.
That's it. That's what all people want.
Then Leva starts to talk to Catherine and explain, back on was it on the boat or something? Yeah, it was on the
The
boat.
boat.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to get into your conversation. I was just trying to talk to you and explain that, we moved. And she goes in and then she says like, until I was rudely interrupted. And the way how Austin interrupted their last conversation, he does it again.
Right.
And no one asked him to butt in. Again, it wasn't he wasn't being spoken to. And then he tries to mansplain himself by over talking a woman.
I mean, I think there's certain things like this you don't need to be bothered with. And women's conversation is one of them. Even if you're being spoken about, I really don't care.
Mhm.
I mean, if you're not speaking like negatively about me, then I'm not going to address you. Now, if you speak to me negatively, I'm going to address you. They were
But
she wasn't they
go
weren't
ahead.
being negative.
But here's the thing. She never said his name. And there were two gentlemen that interrupted that conversation on the
Conversation.
boat. But
Mhm.
he knew he was wrong. And
Right.
that's why he jumped in.
Fair.
That and the fact, I guess, if we were like on the Housewives, he wanted to hold a peach. I'm just saying, like, again, I agree with you so much. Sometimes you have to evaluate which conversations you want to get in and which ones you want to stay clear of. And I think from the very beginning, this is something he should have stayed clear of because it was between two women.
Yeah.
And secondly, you should have learned your lesson from the first time that you jumped into a conversation you ain't had no business in.
Yeah. There's no point.
But I guess he feels entitled enough to start barking at Lever.
Agreed.
Um, and I think in once he let her talk, I think she explained herself very well and said that she was really disappointed um, in him, um, and how his reaction is.
Right.
And I think that was the best thing that she could do in under the circumstances.
Hmm.
Um, and then she continues her conversation with Catherine without any other interruptions.
Hmm.
Um, then Madison 1 switches seats with Catherine so that Catherine could sit next to Madison 2. They start their conversation there, but then they go off to the treehouse for privacy.
Hmm.
I don't think Catherine was really engaged in this conversation. And again, she's holding firm. She's not acknowledging her actions or what they could have done to someone else. Like she's not putting herself in other people's shoes. She's only seeing, my friends aren't defending me. My friends aren't defending me.
She wants to be
Um,
blindly defended, and she wants
mhm,
everyone to see her side only, even though there's another side and another context. She
yeah.
just feels her friends should like blindly um just defend her at all costs, and it's not that way. They're like, no, for this we're going to hold you accountable, and you have to be held
Mhm.
accountable.
But with Madison too, she's mad at Madison too because when the whole thing went down, Gwen's got attacked on social media. So Gwen's had to make a statement and she feels that they should not have done that.
Yeah,
Is she
she's delusional.
serious?
She's delusional because she felt that the statement made her look worse. It's like, no, your text made you look bad, not their statement.
Yeah, and they're a money making enterprise. They're not going to go down for one employee.
Right.
So many other people rely on Gwen's for a livelihood. And
Exactly.
I just don't understand her thought process on this. I just don't.
She to me she has a very late teenager, early 20s type of mentality. That's still all about her.
Ah,
That's the way I see her because
okay, okay.
that's the way I see her because everything's about her, her thoughts, like how she feels. Is like, well, no, like it's other people's feelings. But when you're in that age range, it's all about you. And that's what she gives me. It's all about me and what I want and what I need and what I deserve. No.
It's sad. It's sad because so many people are giving her the tools.
Yes.
They're talking to her. They're trying to help her to understand the situation
Hmm.
and how it appears to others.
Exactly.
And I don't know if she's not hearing it or if she can't understand it. It's just very frustrating at this point, 10 episodes in.
Yes. 10 episodes in.
But you know what? I have to thank Bravo for only like cutting this off at 10 episodes. I really do have to thank them for it.
Hmm. Thumbs up.
Oh God. All right. So then we see Craig talking with Danny and he apologizes to her for what happened at the beach party that Madison won through on the island. And he says like he didn't know everything that went down with Catherine. And he always instinctively just jumps to her defense.
Right.
And he's sorry. And Danny was like, oh, you know, she accepts the apology. You know, there's no big, like, overblown dramatic display. It was a nice, civil, quick conversation.
I
Moving on.
like that. I
Yeah,
enjoyed that.
yeah. And it shows Danny's heart. I know we rag on Danny a lot. We do.
Hmm.
But for once, she played a pivotal role in this particular episode with several of the characters. And I think she handled herself really well. And as we'll see coming up, she actually had a backbone and stood
Right.
up for herself, you know, emotionally, physically, and verbally.
I mean, we like Danny as a whole. We just don't like the fact that she doesn't speak for herself.
Yes, yes, yes. Um, so then Okay, so then we see Catherine. She's talking. She says the whole thing is stupid. She expects Madison to defend her. Madison 2 asks her if she understands what she did and if she can take ownership and apologize. No,
No,
you're asking for too much.
way too much.
Yeah. And Madison 2 had a valid point. She says that Catherine plays the victim,
True.
and Catherine says she's over it. She ends. Done. So then we see Danny. Catherine comes back from the treehouse, and Danny asks Catherine to go out with her onto the dock so that they can have a private conversation. And Danny has infinite patience because I
She
couldn't do
really
this
does.
scene. I couldn't do this scene. But like we talked about this earlier, Danny knows how to handle Catherine the best. And she was slowly but surely pulling it out of Catherine to take ownership, like she was talking to her in terms that she could swallow so that
I
she
thought
could understand what she did.
I thought Danny did a great job
Mm-hmm.
because Catherine
Until
was like,
Madison
okay,
won.
because Catherine was saying like, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
understand. Okay, she's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
good. And then Madison came over and yeah,
Yeah. I don't understand, one, why Madison went down there, and two, why she would start attacking Danny and blindly assume that Danny was enabling Catherine.
exactly.
And then turn around to Catherine and say, you need to come up here to this table and defend yourself. Defend herself against what?
What? Sound.
I'm, again, so frustrated with Madison one. So frustrated. Okay. Let's see. Craig then shoots off some fireworks that scares the bejeebas out of everyone. It starts to rain a little bit. But Danny says, she said one thing to Catherine that I think I wrote it down correctly. She goes, when Catherine brushes off these issues, that it actually hurts Danny. And if that can penetrate Catherine as a supposed friend, nothing would,
Right.
you know? Because it seems like they've been friends forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Danny's been her ride or die. Like
Mm-hmm.
outside of Craig, her ride or die. So yeah, they're good friends, and that's why Danny's taking it more harder than everyone else.
Yeah, she's really trying to make Catherine process this, own up to it, and acknowledge everyone that she's hurt, that, who thought that they were friends with her.
Right. Because what's happening is Danny's looking from an emotional standpoint, and the other people looking at it from more of a technical standpoint. Like, well, you do all this stuff, and you do this for her,
Mm-hmm.
you do that for her. You need to stick up for yourself, blah 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 blah. And Danny comes
Mm-hmm.
from, well, that's my friend. You are right, but like I value our friendship, and So that's why Danny and Elgar are butting heads about the situation. But I get both
Mhm.
sides.
Yeah. So there, it started to rain, so they take the party back to the veranda. Yeah, they were out on the veranda of the house. Um, Pringle at one point, Pringle seemed a little bit toasted at this point,
Oh,
and
he was lit.
he says that the women are all bullying Catherine again. And again, Catherine said, they're not bullying me, like in the softest voice, but she's admitting she's not being bullied.
Yeah, she's like, I'm good. We're having.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, we're having a good conversation. I'm like, see, if y'all would just stay out of stuff, men, do
But
not
here,
get in women's business.
exactly. And here's why Craig is essential. Craig then takes Pringle in.
Right.
Says, you come along, little boy, come along. Um, and Vanita actually comforts Madeline too, because I guess they've all been talking about this while they've been down. The others have been down on the
Right.
dock, and Madison too. I renamed her. My God, Madison too. I guess was relaying what happened in the tree house to the rest of them. So we've got a lot going on here. But when Catherine gets back on the veranda, she starts to try to explain herself. Um, but she says something about how the use of the word minority, and she didn't mean it in the way they thought.
That I was like, oh no.
But Vanita, she needs to come back full time. Vanita said, what other way could it be used?
Right.
No answer.
Zero.
No answer. Um, Vanita was like, what was it? We could only bring you to the table, but we can't force you to eat, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know, she has to understand why what she did was bad and how it affected her friends and who she said it to and everyone who read it, you know.
Exactly.
Um, then wait, hold on. Who was it that said that she lives in a bubble of white privilege? Was that Leva?
Was that Leva? I thought it was Leva.
Yes. And again, Leva is like Leva and Vanita and Madison too are really trying to help her understand this.
Right.
But didn't Madison, where's Madison in all this? She wasn't outside for this.
I don't think so.
She called Danny a rat after the swings and stormed inside. And that's when this rational conversation went on. Thank God.
Right. Yeah. Cause
Um,
I think Danny called her a B.
mhm,
I'm like, I'm not a fan of that, but go Danny
mhm.
in this situation.
She's
Um.
standing up for herself.
Yeah. And then Madison called her a rat, and then went in. I'm like, okay. And that's when you noticed like the rational conversations happen when Madison one's not involved.
Yes. Yes. Because she takes all of her pent up frustrations against Austin out on everybody else.
Yes, I'm gonna say this. Next season, I'm gonna need Vanita back full time. I'm going
Yeah.
to need Cameron to come back.
Hmm.
Um, Leva, I'm on the fence about.
Hmm.
Uh, you know what? I don't mind if Danny's gonna keep on this growth pattern. I want to see her come back.
Hmm.
I saw some growth. I'm like, I need you back. Madison
Hmm.
too can stay a friend of the show. Now, if you bring back Madison and Austin, you can't bring them both back because
I said get rid of both.
we can't deal with the season of another season of YouTube. It just doesn't work.
Mm-mm.
I would rather, to be completely honest, and this may not be the popular opinion, but I would actually rather have Austin back than have Madison back.
I don't see any growth in Austin. I just don't.
I think, but here's the thing: Austin does. I think Austin would do better without her around because she's a distraction. Because all his concern is about her and how she feels, and his feelings for her and blah blah blah. Get rid of her because she doesn't add any. Here's the, thing, the reason why I say get rid of her is because she doesn't add anything to the girl group.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. And
Austin adds a little bit to the guy group because he's gonna mess up somewhere, be in love with somebody. So you kind of need that guy, and then you can bring in
so basically
another guy.
you want Austin back as a replacement for the old Shep before Taylor.
Yes, because Austin's a good guy, and he has. I want to see where he takes his beer business. I want to see him with his beer business without Madison, because he fits in well with Craig. He fits well with Shep. He's him and Pringle and whatever. And then you might bring in another guy. I Catherine. Catherine, I need to stay for another season if Cameron comes back because I want to see them face off.
See, I don't think Cameron will come back if Catherine's there. And
Catherine's there, huh?
if I have to choose, I'm
I'm
gonna
taking
take
Cameron.
Catherine
Cam.
and get rid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Cameron and get rid of Catherine.
Exactly.
You're swaying me. You have a good argument with Austin, but I say get rid of Madison 1 and Austin.
Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, I agree with you. Vanita needs to come back full time. Madison 2, friend. Danny, friend. If there's like, I don't need her to be like screaming at the top of her lungs like Madison, right, but just be more empowered to stand up for herself without fearing she's hurting someone's feelings.
Exactly.
And I saw that, like, there has been a growth progression for her this season.
Right. If she can keep that going, come back.
Yes. Who else? Oh, so they end off that scene, the ball is in Catherine's court and she has to do the work and they're done. Then they go to 6 months later and Catherine comes out the toilet with a pregnancy test.
Right.
Not again, girl. Not again.
Not again.
Girl, get a shot.
But here's the thing though. Who has she seen in the last 6 months?
Caleb.
Only Caleb? 6 months is a long time.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I remember 6 months.
And she was living, no, wait.
She was in her townhouse.
She was in her townhouse, but who else was she seeing?
We don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, here's the thing. The way it's slanted is like, could this be Caleb's baby? Blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, nah, I wonder if she's seen any, I wonder, like, were they together this whole time? Was she seeing anybody else during that time? Y'all not gonna get us with that.
Didn't she say at one point that she was still flirting around with Thomas? Even after she found out about that baby?
I think she was, but I still think they're trying to give us the okey doke with like, oh, is it Caleb's baby? Is it not? Like, no. I need timelines. I need to know.
She's not pregnant.
No, but we see what Bravo's trying to do. Good try, Bravo. We know you now.
Trying to make us watch that lousy reunion.
Oh, but the reunion looks kind of good though. The reunion looks kind of spicy.
Yeah, and the same old Catherine is back.
Yep.
It should be a S show, but
yep.
Do we know how many parts there is
2.
to the? Oh God.
Right.
I think they could wrap that up in one.
90 minutes at most.
Okay.
But we got
anything else? Anything else about this season?
No, this was good. We got through it.
Yes. So that was the review of Southern Charm, Season 7, Episode 10, Treehouse of Cards Part 2, the season finale. If you like this review, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.